Okay, if your dirt bike ran when it was parked, and now when you try to fire it up, it either won't start or it'll only run with the choke on, 90% of the time that means that your pilot jet is clogged up. And that's from leaving old gas sitting inside of it. So I already went through on here. I pulled the tank off. I had a whole bunch of sediment sitting in the bottom of there. Went through, swirled it out real good. And then I went over to the fuel bowl, pulled that off, drained the carburetor. As you can see, that's pretty nasty in there. All that green gunk is from your old gas. And the holes on your jets inside of here are absolutely tiny. So that is a prime example of why once you get done riding, you know, you get ready to go put your dirt bike away into the garage or shed, whatever, you want to let it run with the petcock in the off position to allow it to be able to run out of fuel so that you don't have that old nasty fuel in there. Gas is really only good for about 90 days or so. So that's something that you should be cognizant of. Unfortunately, this is like the third time that I've had to do this because I don't learn from my mistakes. So hopefully you will. I'm gonna get this pilot jet pulled out, the other jet, and let's take a look at those and see what those look like. Okay, so I got this first jet pulled out. This one's just a little 1/4-inch socket, and it's a pretty decent sized jet. So obviously it's a good sign that this one's not completely clogged up. But if I get this camera to focus correctly, you can see that there is actually a decent amount of that green algae on there, and that is just a result of bad gas. So I'm gonna get that other jet pulled out, and we'll see if we have to completely pull this carburetor apart. All right, we got this other guy pulled out now. As you can see, there's a lot of green on there. Something else is even up to a light. You cannot see through that. That right there. It's a direct result from bad old gas sitting in there. Look at that. Okay, so I just hit these guys with a little bit of carb cleaner and took my air compressor, just kind of gently blowing them out. This one's still kind of hard to see on camera, but you can see through it just fine now. Just gonna get this put back together and see if that works, or if we're gonna have to completely disassemble this carburetor. So something to just kind of make clear. I understand that this is not the proper way to do it. If you want to clean out your carburetor, the only correct way, truthfully, is to go through and completely remove it, disassemble it, rebuild it. But I can tell you from experience, having done that before, on this bike especially, being that it's a 450, you have to completely separate the subframe. You have to pull the fuel tank. You have to be able to rip apart pretty much the whole back half of the bike just to be able to get to that carburetor. It's a major pain in the ass. So this way right here is just kind of a simple solution to be able to just get it running again. Like I said, this is for when you know the bike runs. It ran totally fine when you parked it, and all of a sudden you're having a little bit of issues. This bike was running only about 3 months ago. It still fires up right now. It's only running with the choke on. So that tells me that it's more than likely a clogged up pilot jet. And if it's not, well, I didn't spend too much time on this, and then I will have to go and rip out this whole carb. But that's fine. All right, I got the tank back on, got some gas in it. Got the gas on, choke on. Moment of truth. I know you're not supposed to do on 4 strokes, but it's a good look for me. My idle is very high. I need to adjust that. And just like that, you have a running dirt bike again. See, moment of truth here. Choke off, and she's still running. Okay, now the bike is completely assembled again. Great sign that it's running, especially with the choke off. That completely solved my issue. So now I just have to go through and deal with these little these two little adjustments right here. One of them is for the idle, which is only supposed to be at about 1700 RPM with the choke off. So that's something that this little guy right here makes it really easy to deal with. Once we get that dialed in, this bike will be good to go. Okay, I just got done with a little test rip. Bike's running awesome. A couple things I did notice were my chain is incredibly loose and my brakes absolutely suck. Bike definitely needs a little bit of TLC, but it's pretty good for as of right now. It's a great start to be able to have it running again. The last time that I rode this bike, I actually had it on my trailer with my side-by-side and ended up getting T-boned a few hours from my house. So I'm glad to see that nothing's real wrong with the bike, except for a few cosmetic things, but I actually already went through and replaced all these plastics. So a couple more little things and this bike should be in tip-top shape again. So excited for that. Hopefully this video kind of helped you out if you were having the same issue as me. That bag gas, it's a real pain when you leave it sitting in your carburetor. I hate it when you have something that runs nice and all you do is just let it sit for a little bit. All of a sudden the thing wants to run like crap. So real easy tip. Like I said before, this isn't technically the right way to do it, but as you can see, bike's running great right now. Hopefully I don't suck any more sediment from the tank or anything like that. Went through and flushed out the tank though as well. So hopefully she stays running nice.